Hello.
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 What?
My boy can jump so far. He has a hard time with height, but distance he's got it. He jumped from the TV stand to his cat condo,
I can hear
and
the
that's
bells.
like 5 feet away.
I can hear the bells in the background.
Yeah. He wants attention, so I'm playing with him. You jumped so far.
Well,
What do you want, baby? I'm playing with you. I'm giving you pets. Do you really just want me on the couch? You can sit on my lap on the couch? I'm right here. You can sit on my lap where I'm at the computer. You've done it before. You did it last night.
Hello.
Hello.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I already told you I'm having the same problem. Oh,
my forge isn't loading properly.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to load for me either.
Okay, give me a second. Let's see if there's an input. I guess I will just restart the server.
I thought he was done, so he literally went and put it down, and then he literally went and grabbed boy for me to play with him.
I thought I heard a cat.
That's who was typing earlier.
Ah, so that's where that was from.
Mm-hmm.
He's got things to say. Can't silence him.
He does. My precious baby boy.
A little lad.
Recently joined a Discord. They have a cat photo chat. And I
Mhm.
tried my best not to spam it with pictures of my cat. I believe I firmly failed in that.
The inevitability of being a cat owner.
He's just so photogenic. There's just so many good photos of him.
A little lad.
Yeah, working on that.
Oh. There we go. Like, take a look at that. I had one photo in mind, and I still ended up posting 4.
Mm.
Like, he's just the most photogenic creature.
It's just a little fella.
But will it load? Yes. Okay, now we're getting places. Okay, everything's fixed.
Can I get a link to the necessary stuff?
Necessary stuff.
Yeah, to the game, I guess.
Okay. Could have thought that was handled the last run session.
Nope.
Interesting. Well, there's link in there.
Oh, I loaded in. There we go.
Anyways, the links are in the server general chat.
Yeah, I'm just.
Or
Log into my Forge account.
Okay.
Only 3 of us remain.
Go set up something else, and now it's doing the stuck at 98% shit again.
Hmm?
Oh, I'm double checking the tokens on a map, and it's bugging out again. Is Bone still doing stuff?
Shrug.
I mean, some of it's just Forge being Forge, but yeah.
I'm attempting to load into the game, but it's got me on a permanent loading screen.
Sometimes you have to hit stop and refresh a couple times.
Oh, now I'm getting downloading world data. Please wait.
Yeah, once I got that, it was good for me.
Okay, you're in. No.
That fix the issue?
Yeah.
We will be ready in a minute. Hello, how goes art?
There it goes. Mm.
Okay. Now, can it please let me go here? Yes, thank you. Ah, me.
Also, you're echoing me. Sometimes.
Well, I turned down the sensitivity quite a bit. So it looks like it's back to button pressing.
AFK.
We will definitely be starting in 5 or so minutes.
I just need to use the bathroom.
I'm trying to figure out how to import my character from Path Builder.
If it's not letting you do anything, go ahead and refresh your page real quick. Because I updated your permissions, and then the Path Muncher thing should work for you.
Yay!
Would it work for me uploading an image for my token as well?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And if I looked correctly, yours is already fixed.
Okay. You have so many cool borders.
What's up?
You have so many cool token borders. It's hard to fit.
Okay, wait a minute.
I tried to apply it and it just said quota exceeded.
Interesting. Okay, I guess send me the image, and probably what frame you're using.
Okay, 1 second.
Like that's not supposed to happen. You're supposed to have at least a few megabytes of storage. Like, I think at least 100.
This one here. Let me get a screenshot of the border that I liked. This one. It's close to the bottom.
Okay.
I'm not seeing a Path Muncher button.
Okay. Send me your JSON 6-digit code then.
My OC, do not steal. Mm-hmm. If you want to play with the group, you're gonna have to ask the DM. I'm sorry, I don't have authority over this.
Let the cat join.
I really miss it, but actually actually put in my page or clipboard. Now where you were? Yeah.
All right, we are almost there.
I believe in you. You exist.
Where's the Jason code, by the way?
Hmm?
From Ken?
The token. I'm working on that right now.
No. The 6-digit JSON code for Pathmuncher.
Oh, I sent that to you at PM. I sent that to Elise.
I'm not a lassie.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
Pathmuncher.
Let me find that.
Plop. I'll just post in the Discord. My bad.
That's not the JSON export. Oh, there it is. Sorry, the other link I was given was not. Okay. And just a footnote, you're going to have to do a little bit of manual copy paste because it does not, or Pathmuncher is not compatible with the dual class thing currently. But it will get most of it in.
Okay.
It is requesting damage type for your morphic strike. It is bludgeoning or slashing.
Slashing.
And what specialty crafting did you take?
Oh, you mean for the connect gate?
No, specialty crafting skill.
Blacksmithing.
And which skill did you set for assurance?
Lore warfare.
Okay, that didn't show up on the selection list, so you're gonna have to put that back in on your own.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh shit, we have a bones.
We have
Looks
at
like
least
you have.
one bones.
And so it looks like you either have an Eidolon or some sort of familiar pet, and it's asking for the elemental evolution.
Me?
Yes. What damage type did you select on elemental evolution? It's in your feats.
Metal.
Um. So,
Slashing, if that's not. Oh, electricity.
oh well, I just clicked something already. You're probably gonna have to put that back.
No worries. Thank you for helping.
Okay, and so for your final part to set up your dual class correctly,
Mhm.
and I will delete the class in there. Go into the compendium thing, and at the bottom of the folders, you'll see something that says dual class macro. Just click on that, and you'll see a thing that says run me, and open that and execute scripts or execute macro. And that will let you make your dual class thing to put in. But otherwise, it's set up.
Compendium packs.
Oh, could you do me one more favor? Could you, for my familiar token, could you just put an image of a raven there?
Okay. For
Whatever
Edgar.
border, yeah, whatever border you want to use is fine with me too.
There we go.
Hey, Paolo, I'm terribly sorry, but Sunny and Zephyr got down leveled to 9 again.
So what you're saying is that a character got debuffed.
No, just the animal companions.
I don't even remember what needs to be done for them anymore. What the fuck? Zephyr's 10. Sunny is 7.
Poor Sunny. She gets no training. Zephyr's always at the 4.
I'm just gonna set everything on Sunny's thing to the
That
same
feeling
as
when your
Zephyr's.
sibling gets all the training and you get fucked instead.
I accidentally
Oh.
gave Sunny 1,000 HP. Oops.
Wait, I thought that Sprout used XP off.
Use what?
It's
I'm
the
sure that-
version.
I'm sure that Sprout has XPL.
What I don't have is the comprehension to whatever you're talking about.
Hallow! Play more Pokemon. Jesus fuck. How dare.
No.
What? You can't. That. What kind of answer to that statement is no?
They're kind of. I don't want to.
That literally does not make sense.
What am I supposed to set this to? It's
Hallow, are you
literally
possessed?
already
You have to
8.
tell me if you're possessed.
Set it to Wumbo.
Oh, I have to set it to 12. That's what the problem is.
Set your character to Wumbo.
I have to set my character to. Look at this.
Why does my token still say Sans?
I'm so sorry about your Sans Undertale now.
I am now Sans
I was,
Undertale.
I was thinking it. I was trying
I
not to say it.
I feel like I'm going nuts. I was.
But
Oh,
I still didn't.
something's wrong with my brain.
It should be
That's not
fixed.
helping.
I don't know who did that.
Yeah, okay. Now it's fixed. Yeah, if Flynn dies, I'm gonna be making a short and stout skeleton character
I feel like this
with
is a very,
necromancy.
very thinly veiled threat.
It doesn't have to be thinly veiled. It could be pretty thick, depending on how thick the bones are.
How thick do you want your bones to be? Like, do you know how much calcium that requires?
I will consume it. Oh, I will consume enough material to get the calcium that I desire for my thick bones.
I should fucking saved that. I don't know why I wouldn't.
And of course, it's going to be chaotic good,
Mm.
because why not?
Are you ready, Hannah?
Yeah.
Okay. That would help to know in the future.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize it was waiting on me. Apologies.
If you don't mind me functioning from Path Builder until I get everything completely transferred to Path to the Foundry.
Well, right now we're just going to be introducing everything. If your character is not in the current scene, you are going to be introduced within the first half hour or so. So just give it some time.
All right.
No worries.
I will work on getting this finished up within a reasonable amount of time, and I will shut up.
Okay. So, each of you have been each of those present have been invited to a special memorial to venerate a Hoshi-Zorn legend who each of the former party members saw killed. Two of her closest friends, as well as the queen, are in attendance on stage to give speeches, attended or having some of the members of the party in attendance as their guests. You see Reina standing in front of the memorial, moving to the front of the stage. Her voice booms out across the entire area. My Hoshi-Zorns, I come here today after many, many delays. To unveil a monument to one of our city's unsung and unspoken heroes. Flagra was, well, a very complicated woman. She was the third queen. She had faked her death, and from behind the scenes, even removed from her position, continued to fight to keep our great empire still standing. I cannot claim to know or understand her, certainly not enough, as to give her own eulogy, which is why I shall be letting that particular privilege go to her closest friends, the people who knew her best. And I hope that all of you today will understand that we lost a brave hero in silence, but that does not mean that we need to remain silent, that she should continue in obscurity, the same that she was forced to work in. He walks back towards the statue, handing a microphone to a very demonic-looking otter who would take her spot. Behind the scenes, Flagra was one of the city's foremost tech developers. The city's entire information network was designed initially by her. It was thanks to her that we were able to move into the modern age. Look around you, and any technology that you see would almost certainly not exist were it not for her innovation. As a queen, she was one who constantly pushed us forward into a new era. As a citizen, she is someone who fought against the great injustices many of which still roam this land. If there's anything about this ceremony that brings you some degree of awe or inspiration, I hope that the next flogger is not a person who has to go through that fight largely alone, that many around her would recognize the importance of forming collective groups instead of one person having to hold that burden alone. One second. Sasashi would move up towards the front of the stage, seemingly the last one who will be giving a eulogy. This one was not aware of Flagra for most of her life, but the short amount of time that she knew Flagra was unlike any other in her life. The reason that she was able to get the chance in this land is because one kitsune saw her when she had very great struggle ahead of her to find relevance. She gave my friends and I opportunity after opportunity. She is not a person I knew well, but to know long. But she is a person that I known her for years, and I developed a long and fruitful friendship. This one knows that she would have been the greatest of successes. She says this not for any sort of boasting, but to note that Flagra was the sort of person who fought against inequality and tried to give everybody their chance to shine, was deeply interested in those of talent being capable of showing what they could do. When life is not fair, it is people like her that make sure to fight and make sure that chances are given to others who would otherwise have none. He was brave and noble and valiant, and in the end, willing to sacrifice herself for everything that she knew was right. There will not likely be any like her, but you should always aspire to be like her, regardless. As Reina moves to the front again, he merely says, "It is a shame that our ceremony cannot go on longer. It was intended to, but due to the delays and the issues in general that we've had, we found ourselves unfortunately strapped for time. Certainly, this does not do our hero justice, but I would hope that as you look in your daily lives, aided by the things that she made possible. You recognize the importance of carrying on some shred of her legacy, even if you only have found about it in this very moment, in these very moments. As she sets the microphone down, she would walk towards Zadara and say, I am expecting you to look into these incidents. Perhaps you'll be motivated to figure out who exactly sought to undermine your closest friend. To which Adara nods in silence. And one moment, we get our next um
Predators and Durgs and Technocats are my.
right? You are not supposed to be an invisible token. Okay, be ready as this is going to be some of your points of introduction.
If you need to throw a placeholder token on there, I 100% understand.
I'm sorry, please have that set up quickly because that is the primary thing of importance for now.
Is it letting you upload your token?
I was still working on getting the character sheet set up.
Okay. I guess try to upload that, and if it doesn't work, just send me the image.
Oh, no wonder that's not turning anything up. Okay. Dara would bring part of the party to a tavern. It is very, very sparkly, psychedelic. Some of you really wonder if you took a extra hit of acid or something before going in. Hadara and Zilzaji usher you each to a table.
Tables are very awkward for semi-feral dragons to sit at. But this one certainly tries.
Look, they have special chairs.
Very glittery in here.
Dara would say is way of introducing some of the newer players. So then, we've been tasked with a very special mission, and for at least one of you, it's going to be a first. The Queen has asked for an investigation to be held into the group that was stopping the memorial service. It was supposed to be conducted 9 months ago, and it was delayed due to a number of building issues. Some of it bureaucratic nonsense, a lot of it more serious. But
Well,
I would like you all to introduce yourselves to each other.
So Flynn is he's gonna take a pint of what are we drinking?
Whiskey.
He's gonna take a pint of whiskey. In life and death, we all got to fucking live like it's the last motherfucking day of our lives. And it's better be fun. Because god damn it, anything else is going to be too fucking boring if there isn't any blood tonight. And I raise a toast.
one of the dragons at the table is curiously sniffing the mug of whiskey, kind of wrinkling her nose at it due to its sharp smell. Though she doesn't say anything quite yet, just kind of makes a weird face. Then looks over at Flynn, tilting her head slightly.
Well, you got to join in, don't you? Not just gonna stand here on my own. And you see, just like he's really, really fucking short, standing on the
Oh.
table. Short little bird man.
I gotta know, how tall is he?
Short. He's short
Okay.
size. He's short feet tall.
Short feet tall.
Using one
Approximately
of her forepaws,
short foot short.
using one of her forepaws, she will pick up the cup in front of her and mimic what she saw some other adventurers doing once, and tap it against their cup, as if questioning if this is what she's supposed to do.
There you go, you're a natural. Come on, all of you. Bring up your tankards and just clink it with each other.
Brown scoops up their tankard. I can't say I'm particularly looking forward to blood being spilled, but alright then.
Is
And
Iron
not
Fist
dying,
just-
how about that?
Aren't we just doing an investigation? I should hope that it's not something that gets violent.
Nothing is ever quite as it seems, nor as simple as getting a few clues and giving it all to your local law enforcement.
Do note that the Queen will absolutely be disavowing you if you perform any kind of violence in this investigation. It's not to say that you can't, it's just that you'll lose certain protections.
To not dying and to not getting caught.
Make the piano-tailed dragoness look very uncomfortable now. Looking over at Silzaji and tilting her head as if questioning if this is normal.
Oh, come on, you never celebrated anything before?
I mean, the only thing I'd be celebrating is that I guess I'm doing my first freelance mission with those bunch of random adventurers rather than an organization.
Adara would just laugh heartily, slap Ashlyn on the back, and say, "That's the spirit."
Finally, this dragoness speaks up and asks, does adventuring work always border on potentially being illegal?
Yes.
Only the fun ones.
The answer is yes.
Technically speaking, it's not that illegal if we have a royal decree for this.
Not unless blood is spilled.
The answer is yes.
It's not that you have a royal decree. This is still an unsanctioned mission. You have an agreement, however, with the authorities that certain people from the royal court will be stepping in as your representation should you get into any legal trouble, as long as you don't commit a certain threshold of violence.
So
no.
basically, if we keep to breaking and entering and at worst put some people to sleep harmlessly with a sleep spell, yeah, I guess we're probably fine.
That said, I can't exactly tell you who has been doing these particular crimes, shall we say. But I can guide you to a few leads that we have. By the way, Kanye, you can absolutely describe your character and stuff here, just so you know. All of you can, to be clear.
Yep, I just didn't want to take up the airspace immediately.
A kitsune with unusually bronze skin, and dressed like a mundane soldier, is staring with a blank or inquisitive look, almost as if he wants to ask something, but doesn't always know what to ask.
Flynn, as previously mentioned, is a very short red Tengu. He's dressed in a fairly light, colorful clothing that kind of matches his feathers, and you
Tail.
could tell he's a seafaring guy. He's got plenty of guns and swords, just kind of sitting around him at all times, and he looks he's quite exciting. We'll say that.
Tail is a 7 or 8 foot tall semi-feral dragon. Semi because she can rear up on her hind legs. She is dressed in a myriad of colorful scarves and such, light brown fur, and she has several musical-oriented markings on her, including a distinctive tail pattern that looks like piano keys. She's also wearing some strange mechanical devices. For those familiar with music, a trackpad, headphones, and some kind of speakers around her neck. She's also trying to drink some of the drink, but once again wrinkles her muzzle. Still seeming a little bit grossed out by it.
You see a male gnoll in the corner. He kind of hunches over, which makes him seem a lot shorter than he actually is. He wears a set of multicolored rags that kind of drape over him loosely, but you can see that they cover something much sturdier underneath. He carries around numerous trinkets and baubles, which adorn his body like ornaments, and his light brown fur culminates in a large reddish mane, which is equally covered in ornaments woven directly into his hair. Wears a large smirk, wringing his hands as he takes in the details around him with scrutiny. He picks up the glass of whiskey and kind of holds it up to his eye and looks at everybody, sort of magnified before he downs it all in one gulp. sits it back on the table and leans back in his chair.
Ashlyn herself.
A little bit louder, please.
Oh, sorry. Ashlyn currently seems to be rather reserved around all the strange people. She is a very fur-covered dragonborn with mostly black fur and a bright purple mane, as well as strikingly bright colors on other parts of her, like on her chest and her horns. She is decked out in some leathers, however.
Reaches over and looks to Sprout.
That's my turn. Okay.
Mhm.
Sprout is a Greyford Kitsune druid monk. I almost forgot about the monk part. They wear a green cloak and have a large bag and have 2 fox-like little companions with them. One being Zephyr, the other being Sunny. Zephyr is the gray little fox, and Sunny is the brown little fox.
Wait, Sprout is a druid, are you sure?
Wow, I wonder where that could have possibly come from. It's not like Sprout started out as a druid or anything.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a monk.
Also, despite being told to introduce everyone, everyone is just kind of, at least in character, he hasn't said their names, which I find hilarious.
Sprout's socially awkward and introverted.
Flynn is too busy trying to do a toast.
Sprout is trying to reciprocate the toast, but also they hope there's no blood.
I'd give a toast to the bird.
The bird.
Hell, what
And
happened to the
Flynn
bird?
very much obliges to the very, very eager participants.
Do we have an entire tankard of whiskey? Is that what we're drinking?
You all have glasses of whiskey. Or root beer if you
Okay,
want. Or
glass.
anything else.
Like an entire tankard of whiskey.
Gotta have the soda for the engine.
I'm going with the fact that Hell did get a tankard of whiskey because she didn't know what it was and she was curious. And she was
Oh
like,
no. Sprout downs the glass of whiskey as quickly as possible and coughs violently.
First time?
the party would see the tail, stick her entire muzzle into it to drink it, then just reel in pain. And she got some of it in her nostrils.
Ugh.
Ah, it burns.
You'll
Not
get over
nicknamed
it.
Firewater for no reason.
I don't like this water.
Well,
Yeah,
perhaps have you tried rum too?
I regret
It
telling
is
that
quite
in one
nice.
go. God.
I don't drink alcohol, not really.
Ah, you're
Other
no
things
fun.
are far more fun and far better for you.
Well, when you're lost at sea for a little bit, you get a little stressed. I don't know what the fuck this accent is. You'll get a little stressed, and things happen.
Oh, what things? I'm very interested.
Alcohol-related things, I imagine.
Blood-related things.
You seem to have a frightful fascination with blood, friend.
I don't. I know the trades.
If you get stressed out, please don't stab me. Or any of us, for that matter.
Don't worry. As long as you don't do anything.
What is that supposed to mean?
I must
How
second the
ominous.
question. I must second the question of the small fox fellow. What's that supposed to imply?
What's your name, anyway? I don't think... Have any of us said our names? Alcohol's making my brain go fuzzy.
No, we have not.
I'm
I'm
Sprout.
Ben.
Nice to meet you. This is Zephyr. That's Sunny. All right, next person.
I am Jean Tong.
It's quite the interesting name.
Top of the morning. I'm Flynn. I can do an Irish accent. Fuck.
They call me Albion. And Edgar, where are you? And then a little raven pokes out of my rags and squawks for hiding back in. There he is. Sorry.
Looks like I'm not the only one with a little friend.
Yes, he's a bit precocious, but he is my dear friend.
Well, you can call me Tail, though I've recently taken to the name DJ Tail 3, she says with a cheeky little grin. Probably
Now,
something
where
she's
did you
thinking
get
of.
that name from?
Oh, it's a DJ name. Name I picked up from my teacher over there. She gestured over to Solvaji. She with her head.
Basically,
Well,
when
isn't
you
that
learn to
interesting?
cast special spells at the mechanical booth, you learn how to make beautiful music. And then you get a special name that sometimes has numbers in it.
I
Speaking
just
of
do sea
music,
shanties.
Sea
speaking of music,
shanties are a very valuable means of communicating joy.
Not just joy. Of course, we got to be a little bit sad every now and then.
Maybe joy or wishing that you could go home. I seem to recall a specific one named the Wellerman.
There's a song I've heard that isn't quite a sea shanty, but a popular ship that was heard across the land. It was on its first voyage, and it hit something quite cold and large, and it sunk.
And I'd hardly call what
And then
would you
some
do with
random
it.
pop artist
Sorry.
years later made a song about it.
And I'd hardly call what would you do with a drunken sailor joyful. Those are the only two I've heard anyway. I'm not a sea person. Water
Adara
and
would
I don't
just say,
get along.
I can think of a lot of joyful things I'd do with the drunken sailor. And have.
I think some of that stuff you should probably keep to the bedroom. I've heard a few remixes of those sea shanties though, especially the Wellerman. And she remarks, kind of pulling her headphones up to her ears. She seems to be constantly tapping her tail to the beat of whatever she's listening to.
Since I guess everyone's doing their introductions, my name is Ashlyn. I haven't really done the adventuring stuff, but I have, done my fair share of interesting work with Adara.
What kind of work?
Well, that would be telling now, isn't it?
The kind of work that gets weaponized in court cases against you if you have loose lips.
Now that sounds fun.
This just gets a nod from the DJ Dragon, who just gives a grin and says, "Right then. I can tell you're gonna be fun."
Jean looks at the DJ Dragon and asks, are those headphones meant to distract you from the ringing?
Distract me from what now?
The ringing. I've known people with a ringing in their ear that use such devices to distract themselves from it.
And I just...
Oh no, well, yeah, it does help me with that. But These are why I used to listen to my tunes, man, she says, kind of dropping more into a casual tone. Well, now that she's loosened up a little, probably due to the alcohol.
Oh, I
So
see.
why
Blame it
are
on
we
the
all here
alcohol.
today? So what brings us here today? What is our purpose?
You're going to be investigating the reason why a monument to a hero who should be much beloved throughout the city has been
No,
meeting with many
no.
delays.
For taking the mission. Why are we here?
To talk
Why
about,
are you specifically taking this?
well, you are all taking this particular. Oh, wait, no, I understand what your question is. Anyway, go around then, do that. My brain's having a moment.
You're good.
You're good.
What motivated us to come here?
Well, that will once again, and be my lovely teacher over there, helping me get into the adventuring business. I've heard stories about everything she went through and how it helped change her life. Hyphen inspired new music, sticking tales from her. I couldn't help but be curious. So when she said she was going to a memorial and might end up finding some adventuring work, I couldn't say no. Besides, I've been wandering around this kingdom for a little bit before I met her. Her trying to understand animortal races a little bit better. So this seems like the perfect way to do so.
So a little bit of field work.
I guess you could put it like that.
Interesting. How
Me,
about you, Sprout? What brings you here?
I've been in this group a very, very long time. And, well, I've got some goals of my own that I intend to figure out, but I would like to see this through.
I'm just here to tag along.
I don't know about tag along, but
Some sort of greater sense of purpose, or
Blogger was.
maybe they're just there to kind of help facilitate that.
I was not super close with Flagra, but they were a great ally, and I would still consider him a friend. So, seeing the ceremony get cut short because of some issues related to what we're going to investigate is something that I do have personal ties to. I would like to see this. I would like to see those involved brought to justice.
Noted. Noted. Who else would like to speak up? I'm quite curious.
Still remembering the first time I met Flagra.
Well, if it helps. I do like me a little bit of coin and protection from, these pesky guards and naval units from city-states. I prefer to be a little unbound, perhaps. And of course, any treasure, That is always a bonus.
so a bit of exploring and a bit of profiteering then, huh?
Perhaps.
Hey, no shame, man.
Whatever floats your boat. As for me, well, Edgar told me to. Isn't that right, Edgar? My bird comes out and squawks again. He pecks me in the cheek. I'm like, ow.
You have a raven named Edgar.
But on the nose, don't you think? I thought it was funny myself.
I don't know. I think your bird's pretty awesome.
Don't let him hear that. It'll go straight to his head.
Don't worry, he can't handle a gun or a sword, so.
Oh, no,
He's not
definitely
that cool.
not.
Wow, man, you really like jumping into the pointy bits, huh?
Adara would just say, I used to make jokes like that, but after it ended up coming to haunt me, let's just say nevermore.
Oh,
I like it. I like it.
Ow.
Tail
Ow.
falls over backwards.
Yeah, can we like total party kill the DM?
Jean doesn't get it.
The
Raider
voices
players
from
have
the
tried.
sky are making more jokes.
My bird just starts laughing.
They
Squawking.
are. They are making those jokes.
Is this what she meant by taking psychic damage? Ouch.
Yes.
Flynn starts twirling his dagger pistol. Just
Well,
absentmindedly.
Edgar seems like a fabulous little fellow who deserves every bit of praise given him.
Again, do not let him hear that. I don't want to have to deal with it later.
He was what? A happy bird?
Sometimes he gets a little too happy. That's all I'm going to say.
They can never be too happy. The
Oh no,
opposite
trust
is
me. We
always far,
can.
far, far worse. I have two. I know what I'm talking about.
You know, that's a very valid
And
point.
Flynn's gonna gesture to the bartender for another glass of whiskey.
Why does it sound like we're talking about kids?
The Hellhound would come over and bring a lot more whiskey. Also
Tail would
bacon
order
for
about-
Sprout, because obviously he'd love that.
Also, what for Sprout?
Bacon.
Tail's gonna order a root beer instead. Something she knows she'll enjoy.
Sprout looks very confused by the bacon.
How does
thing.
she know she'll enjoy it? Does she see the future?
Yes.
No, but she has been bribed with root beer.
Damn. I was hoping that at least one party member would be able to see the future, but I guess not.
Well, I can if I use my grandmother's bones. But
I
let's
mean-
not open a can of
I
worms.
can kind of see the future.
My future involves a bullet in someone's head.
I mean, even if one party member can see the future, they aren't necessarily the one that needs to, that question is being asked of.
And what is that the question?
Whether or not someone would enjoy it.
I suppose. Now where were we? Let's enjoy this night. It's only going to get messy tomorrow.
I believe we were discussing the details of our mission. I'm very
Like-
interested in.
Anyone ever done an investigation? How does that even work?
Well, I've done plenty of investigations in my time, but never in the city. Always out in the woods.
Sprout stuffs bacon into their mouth. We break
believe
in and
it
we try to
in-
find
it involves-
evidence of what we're looking for.
You start with observing the incident you wish to investigate. Find
I'm
some
more used
questions
to
you wish to
maps and
answer, and then answer them. If you develop more questions, answer those, and then repeat the process until you get a suitable answer.
I never thought of it that way. That's very enlightening.
Huh.
Perhaps there are puzzles or riddles written by some dead man.
I think our investigation is going to be a lot more straightforward than that. We're trying to find evidence of them tampering.
Adara would just say, I've always found those kinds of things on dead men to be very reliable sources of information, given that dead men tell no tall tales.
Exactly. They get it.
Once again, tail falls over, this time forward onto the table.
Oh, lighten up. Got to loosen your shoulders.
Tail looks up, then looks at them and tilts her head. But if I loosen my shoulders, they'd fall out of their sockets.
Oh, gosh. You take everything literally. Somebody ought to tell you to get going. And
This
live a
one-
little.
This one is very insistent, though. You should do everything that you can to mitigate any kind of violent action. As well, make sure that you do not do any sort of unseemly things in the streets.
Oh, don't
Queen-
worry, I won't fight anyone.
The Queen's
Unless they
lenient-
offer.
The Queen's leniency is a lot wider inside of some sort of, well, business or a person's home than it would be in public.
So any violence in pursuing this incident would be a hindrance to the one who's asking us to investigate.
It would not be a hindrance to Lady Arena. She is very insulated, shall we say. The problem would be that she would be unable to protect you in those instances.
Well, I certainly don't plan to go looking for a fight. Singing is more fruitful than fighting more often than not.
This one mentions this because you are going to be having to do a investigation that may lead you to public places, and you do not wish to be causing a scene that you cannot walk away from.
Jean nods.
Perhaps these tools I have, and I continue to twirl my dagger pistol. Perhaps I won't dirty my blades or waste any ammo. But I can sure as hell act like I will.
Certainly, threats and intimidation, as long as they are not recorded, will be a much more viable tool. But you are also not to be acting as if you have the permission of the royal family for this.
Now, we have a royal request, but we only have so much royal protections.
Correct.
Is there any,
Most of them exist after the fact.
Is there any specific laws we should be wary of? I lived by myself for most of my life. I'm not used to the big city life, as they put it.
As a general rule, you're going
baby.
to want to avoid any. Well, you are going to want to avoid physical altercations, most of all. If you end up finding that this journey leads you inside of somebody's house, you want to have some degree of plausible deniability. Unless it's some kind of business or something, you can make a little bit up there.
And perhaps I can utilize my connections to alternative trade routes and fairs.
No. Are you a criminal?
I mean, look at me. Do I look official?
I don't think any of us are official.
You have
Oh.
a point there.
Quite frankly, you kind of look like you jumped right out of an old seafarer's tale. I really dig the look, though.
Indeed, I'm very much a seafarer.
It is cool.
I appreciate it. I spent a lot of time looking for this and acquiring it.
Speaking of, since skills and such are being brought up, what can everyone do? Think it might be wise for us to know what everyone's bringing to this kind of investigation or whatever this is going to be. For example, I'm not one I'm not too good at being sneaky, so she says, kind of moving around, making all the electronics on her sort of rattle. Definitely not Miss Subtlety here.
I think infiltration is probably a better word for it.
I bring out 3 balls out of my backpack and I attempt to juggle them.
I don't think that's gonna help very much.
No, don't trust me. This is absolutely a vital skill. As you can see, me just continuing to juggle.
Uh-huh.
I distract people, and you just got to have a little bit of fun. I could be our entertainment. I'm not just a gun for hire.
I don't know if
Makes fun.
that sort of distraction will be the best suited for this.
Tail starts.
I have this little toolkit here, and I pull out a thieves toolkit in case we need to be subtle.
I was gonna say Tail starts playing music, like circus music, to go along with the juggling.
I'd clap along.
Gonna
But
roll
we're an
one.
adventuring team, not a traveling circus.
Who says
Yeah.
we can't be both?
You make a good point. It would make good cover as well.
Oh.
Indefinite, perfect. You
I'm
see,
quite good at weaving a tall tale, if I do say so myself.
and I'm gonna do a performance check on my. Wait, fuck! Did I roll this wrong?
But Tails
I
already.
did a private roll.
I'll fix it. Wait, why is it not showing up on my screen?
It's a secret roll.
Well, wait, is it a self roll?
It is a blind GM roll.
Well, yeah, then I should see it.
What the fuck?
Did you break
oh,
Foundry?
I'll show this.
No, my
Hold on.
Foundry's
There we
just
go.
fucked apparently and not showing me. Well, I guess I need to reroll Foundry. That's weird. I can't see anything in the chat. Go on.
Jean,
Anyways, how's the performance doing?
What was the roll?
Based off of
39. for me.
so Puff has a 39 out of 32.
You are juggling so well that they are unable to tell how many balls you are actually juggling. There is some speculation that it might actually be 20.
I stand up and I put both my hands on the table. How many balls is that?
That's an interesting
won't
question to
tell.
ask on the first date.
Wait.
Tail gets
Hold on.
rears up on her hind legs. Step right up, step right up. Guess how many balls he's juggling? Using her headphones to be a microphone.
I count on my fingers for a second and my eyes are like darting left and right. 14.
Do we get bargoers to come and guess?
I'm gonna break my eyes if I stare at that any longer. Although that's wildly impressive.
You're right. I'm about to throw up. And I just close my eyes.
Forgive me, it is a little overstimulating, and I catch the balls.
I try to catch how many balls it was after you stop juggling.
Nope. Yeah, after they stopped juggling, you realize it was just 5 and not 20.
It was
Dropped
3.
my knees.
No, it
Dropped
was
my
5. It was 5. Definitely 5.
It was fun.
Single tear rolls down my cheek. Can't even trust myself.
Tail cuts her circus music with a giggle.
But yes, when the more subtle methods fail, then I do
Listen.
have a little bit of an arsenal.
Listen, all I'm going to tell you is I do actually have one thing in common with the great Demonako.
Huh?
Question not my rule, for my evil is law. I think I said that right.
You got it.
Excellent.
5 balls it is.
5 balls it is.
It is.
There were 5 balls the whole
do you
time.
catch any of them in your mouth?
In a galaxy far, far away, there were 5
Should we-
balls.
Do we have
My
out
mouth
context
does not
info?
hold that capacity. And then I start to show my array of weapons. I also have these. And my prized possessions. And you
Question, what
see.
does that do?
What? What does what do?
He points at your guns.
They shoot.
What? What does that mean?
I point. I shoot. And you see it. You see in one hand a dagger pistol, in the other hand a rapier pistol.
Seems very
And these
complex.
little sharp ends right here, they stab or slice if that is your fancy.
See, that part makes sense to me. I've seen those before.
And then I also keep a spare dagger and sword right here. And you see they're just hanging on my legs, pretty much on the belt.
You ever accidentally poke yourself?
A few times. It happens a lot, and eventually you just learn to make sure you have a little bit of padding there.
Pain's a great motivator, isn't it?
Indeed.
What's wielding weapons in your hands like? She looks at her forepaws. It's not something I really do. Not for any appreciable matter.
It is an acquired skill. You see, you just have to kind of adjust your hands and make motions with your arms, and sometimes you do a little bit of damage.
Tail is
Their bones.
inexpertly trying to mimic the hand wing poses just the pirate is making, but her forepaws they're good enough for doing most manual dexterity tasks. They are clearly not designed for carrying around weapons and swords.
Does the swords and weapons you have on your person, they look well taken care of?
Yes, like I said, prized possessions.
I'm sure he polishes his weapons daily.
God damn it.
I very much
By
do.
that.
Don't know
What I do, I just take a little bit of this. I have a little bit of a sharpening stone right here. I have some oils, mainly for the blades, but for the gun part, it is a little bit more complicated. You have to get all up inside and make sure everything is clean. It is a very laborious task.
Has your weapon ever exploded on you? I heard gun-like weapons like that can blow up if you're not careful.
Of course.
Blow up.
Of course. In my line of work, they always blow up.
You should
But
expect
that's
that
why you keep care of them.
You should expect that magical devices that emit metal are capable of blowing up. It is a fundamental law of the universe.
Well,
I
hey.
shuffle backwards.
Well, hey, with me around, if something blows up, I can at least reattach your limbs, she says with a big grin on her face.
And then I have a few other things, and I pull out the dueling cape. This is more for show.
Did I hear a
And it is a fairly ornate red cape.
Oh, I like that.
It's
With,
the kind of
probably-
cape that you could likely hold out in front of you while saying certain things to taunt bulls.
I knew a minotaur once who would get really pissed off at a cape like that.
Oh, I've pissed off many people, though they're much smaller than Minotaur. They're usually disgruntled, drunk, and a little bit too arrogant for my liking.
Hail mutters. Sounds like some of my old squad mates, actually.
And of course, I have a few more little things here and there. I have some cards to keep me busy. I have this little fan here, and he's just kind of fanning himself with it. It appears to be a weapon of sorts, but he doesn't seem to use it as a weapon much. It's more of a I'm gonna cool off type of item. And then you also see a little mask as well that he may or may not have been stolen.
You certainly carry a lot of things around on you. So says the one.
Yes,
wearing
this
a
little
vest.
backpack here. I try to be a little self-sufficient.
I feel like we're getting a little sidetracked here.
A little bit, but I'm also allowing you a lot of time because I want you to kind of vibe together as a party and get each other's general, So I've allotted a bit of time. If
Well,
you're
my good
comfortable
ad.
with that, but we can also move on if enough of you would like. There we go.
Well, I can go over a little bit of my skill set. I'm very good at following a mystery. Very good at paying close attention to fine detail. A bit of an artist at heart. I'm not sure how relevant that's going to be. And me and my little buddy Edgar like to team up should things get dicey. I can cast a few spells as well. Hopefully it doesn't come to that this time.
Hale's eyes light up. Oh, what kind of artist are you in? What kind of artist are you?
I'm so glad you asked. His eyes kind of light up. He rummages through his backpack and places some very abstract, smudgy paintings on the table. Take a look at this. Just moving, isn't it?
Hale is actually giving it quite the interested eye.
What does the painting look like?
It's like extremely abstract, like smudgy art. There's a bunch of like charcoal scrapings of like random mundane objects. It just looks like crazy. Just a complete smattering of craziness in front of you.
Ooh,
Hale is
charcoal.
nodding as if she completely understands it.
Ashton would just ask, what are you trying to express with it?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Ashton would ask, what are you trying to express with it?
This one, I point to like this crazy painting I call Wednesday. He looks at you with like a completely enraptured look.
I kind of want to see what your landscape sketches would look like.
So you were wanting to express what a Wednesday feels like to you?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
That painting, that looks like a treasure map.
Oh, that was actually a painting of my grandmother's grave.
Oh.
I love her dearly. Rest in peace.
Is there an X on the painting or like anything that looks like an X?
Yeah, probably. Pretty crazy painting.
Look there, there's the treasure.
It's
That
not
was
a
probably
map,
where
it's a
my
painting.
grandmother was. Rest in
Or-
peace.
Here lies Xena Zeinbacher.
What a
Is that her
name.
name? Probably.
What do you mean, probably?
Probably.
She might have called
The
herself
body could be
Wednesday,
there.
now that I think about it. Anyway, I gather up all my paintings, stuff them back in my backpack. What were we talking about?
This is gonna be interesting.
We were discussing the skills we bring to the table.
Well, I think that's about it for me.
Myself, I am well versed in the means of warfare, or the strategies of war, as well as crafting and metallurgy. I'm also capable of keeping troops in line. But my most proficient skill, he lifts the table up with one hand, is my raw strength. And then he puts it down.
Impressive, impressive.
And if
The strategy, you say? There's like a little bit of flourish. On a grand scale. I appreciate it.
combat were to break out, my power over metal, he conjures a sword or a spearhead in his hand. And so a bronze spear in his hand. He's like, I am capable of wielding metal to great proficiency.
How adept, my friend.
Hale nods her head, seeming impressed. Well, you've already seen my talents lie in music. And outside of that, I got a little bit of magic, a little bit of fighting. I can do a bit of many things. as if to mimic the display she just saw, she kind of slides under the table and lifts it up on her head because she can't do so with her forepaws before putting it back down. And because I feel like using a spell today, and this is in no way inspired by certain events that might have happened during this week, that might have irritated me greatly. She casts a heal spell in the area, which just leaves a sort of rainbow-colored aura all over the place.
Unless you're
Again,
undead, in which case you're tasting the pain bow.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wait, are you actually saying this? Oh my god.
Who in the party would have the highest perception?
It's a great question.
That's on something you would know in character.
Well, I'm saying that because I would point out to that person that my character's movements and behaviors would be naturally uncanny.
Well, you can
Then there
make
would be a
everybody
DSC
roll
for
for
it, yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'll at least roll a perception to see if Tail notices anything.
Fair, why not?
Fuck it, if we're going against my deception DC, these are all crit successes. Put 0 into deception.
Well,
Ooh.
there you go.
He's not human.
Oops.
Or a kitsune.
You're quite strange.
I don't judge.
Oh no, I'm not judging either. I just like to make observations.
About
certainly
the
moved it.
strangeness of people. Anyway,
You certainly moved a
But
bit
that is
oddly
what
when I
makes
cast
things
heal. And again, I cast heal for no particular reason. Certainly not any level of salt.
Perhaps there is
personally,
more
I'm
of
very
that.
impressed that you're
yeah.
capable of being around all of your allies and then using heal at that time because you're perfectly positioned by not moving. Don't ask too many questions. It's a really toxic joke.
There's a lot of layers to this.
It is like an ogre, yeah.
Oh my god.
I was thinking more of a birthday cake.
I wasn't.
Oh dear.
I have cut down many ogres. I have not seen layers.
Actually, there is layers. See, there's
No.
multiple layers to the skin, and then you have the muscle, and then inside the muscle there's bone. So technically,
Whoa, dude. Way too much information there.
that's we're all built like that, unless you're not
Yeah.
made of flesh.
Wait, did Sprout just admit that he's an ogre? I knew it.
We're all
know-
ogres.
How philosophical of you.
It's all ogre now, if you will.
It's already ogre
I remember-
now.
I remember there being a tale of an ogre, donkey, short man, a lady.
Tail is still kind of focused on the one who kind of gave away something odd about themselves. So, what exactly are you hiding anyway, dude?
Oh, that is rude. I just ask that.
Well,
Anyways, go on. Tell us.
well, I don't want one of them doing something magical and that causes them pain or hurt them, unwittingly.
Well, yes, of course. I was just feigning disgust.
Pauses for a moment. Looks around the public venue. Looks back at the one who asked the question.
Happy Tail.
and transforms his arm into a blade.
Whoa.
Huh.
You can also summon the sword.
Oop,
But it
I was
is
right.
an appendage.
Whoa, that's gnarly, dude.
You strange people are quite interesting with your weapons.
If Tail looks anything, she looks impressed, not intimidated.
It was not a means of intimidation, but more along the lines of an explanation without drawing attention.
She doesn't say much else other than, so, like, my magic didn't cause you pain, did it? Oh, it did. Alright,
It did
man.
not, no.
Alright, cool. All I care about is as long as I can treat your wounds without causing you more of them, you know? She gives a pause up.
It should be amenable to my form.
Rockin', she says.
So what else do we have in store for each other? Anyone care to explain what they do? Anyone who hasn't, of course. So we've got someone who can summon blades out of metal and someone who can turn their arm into metal. A little bit of magic. What other flavors do we have?
Well, I'm a druid, and I have these two little shenanigan causers. Sprout gestures to the foxes at their side. I also
Oh, I
have
love
various
a little
nature
pack.
magics to use.
So you have a little pack with you. You're like their alpha wolf.
Sprout
I
yips happily, wagging their tail adorably.
Wait, Sprout.
You said Sprout, not Zephyr.
No, Zephyr. I said Zephyr. You're all delusional. I
We
said
all
Zephyr.
do this.
I mean,
You all
Literally
had a shared
everybody has done it
hallucination.
once.
I'm still Sans, guys.
oh no,
No,
I'm
you're
hearing
you're
the-
experiencing a mass hallucination, and I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to save you from your own minds. I'm not trying to gaslight you.
digital
This is-
hallucinations.
I'm feeling
This is-
gaslit.
You're so
This is-
right, DM. Also, there were 5 balls.
This is Zephyr. They're very
I would never
friendly.
gaslight my players.
This is Sunny. Sunny will try to bite your hand off if you try to pet her, so don't do it.
Yeah, I had been looking a
was
little
what-
bit closely at Sunny when that was said.
Sunny stares suspiciously at Tail. If she was a Vaporeon, it would be very suspicious.
Suspicious.
Yes,
no,
Paolo,
well,
you know what suspicious means, don't you?
Seeker definitely knows what suspicious means.
I bet this little red head one is all nice and friendly, right? She said, looking
No.
very closely at
That you got him mixed up. That would be Zephyr.
Are any of them feline in nature?
No, they're foxes.
Okay.
And then Ashton would just say, I tend to be very good at getting into things that that people aren't supposed to get into, and knowing a bit more than I should know.
Adara would just say, if you weren't supposed to get into it, then they would have bought better than that one aisle at the department store.
I think I saw a video of someone opening a lock by just hitting it with a rock once. Man,
Oh no,
some
the
people-
funniest videos are where you pick a lock by banging it against another lock of the same type.
Oh my god.
The master lock 605 can be opened with another master lock 605.
Very useful information.
So one of those videos actually, he did that. He banged a lock. There were two of those locks on the same fence. He banged one, it broke. He threw that away, but the other one was still there. So he just beat it with his bare hand, and it still broke, and he threw it away.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's
Yeah.
actually a little difficult to get that on the first strike, though. So he probably did like a couple takes to get it to work right. But
If I remember correctly, he did like multiple attacks up on it.
proof that Minecraft theory works. When in doubt, punch it.
Minecraft theory.
Hello, have you never studied Minecraft theory?
It is
No.
my favorite form of political engagement. Outside of this madman called Marx.
Oh
That's
no!
the theory.
What is it got to do with
No,
Minecraft?
Look, I
Karl
will
Marx
say
is now
there's
canon in this universe.
there's no one who has argued for more piracy than anyway.
Yes, he is my favorite pirate.
Should we go to the next scene? It's 10:30.
If you would like, so the next scene's going to be a social encounter.
Alrighty.
Actually, let have it be on the record. It's just Marx, not Karl Marx, in the universe.
Curly
It's just a guy
Martin.
named Marx. No, it's just a guy named Marx. No actual relation to Karl Marx.
Mark's no Carl.
Exactly. Marx hold the Karl.
One second. So then, we've brought you to this tavern today because someone in here is responsible, or at least connected to the organization responsible for the delays. Adara would say. Which is why we're going to test your ability to handle interrogations and get information. You can use any means that you like, but if you get violent, you're going to have to fend for yourself.
I will interrogate using my dagger.
I will also warn you, the tavern owners are skilled martial artists.
And I am a skilled gun artist.
Good luck with that.
My brush is my gun. The paint, my bullet. The canvas, their innards.
We were literally told not to kill people.
That was an enrapturing statement. I feel inspired.
I would love to see what you paint. This I'm glad they give you an inspiration.
Man, this is already going well, ain't it? Tail giggles.
Either way, we shall be departing and leaving you to whatever you find. Be wary as, well, the tavern owners will be none too pleased if they catch you impeding their business.
So, to get this straight, somebody in this tavern that's not among us right now is the object of our investigation. What exactly did they do again?
They have information about it, from what I understood.
Yes, they are connected to the particular delays. I understand that she did not mean much to all of you, even if she did to some. But it is worth understanding why somebody who should be venerated as a national hero was not allowed to have her, well, peaceful burial, peaceful commemorative ceremony without a lot of holdup.
Do we know if these people are connected to a larger organization of some sort?
It is a possibility. Your goal is to find out information. The information here should lead you to the next step in your investigation.
Is there anything that this person is looking for? Any services or goods? Do we know?
That would be difficult to say. We do not have any such information on them. They have done a lot to mask their efforts, so even things like getting an answer to that they did it will be a struggle.
Given the environment we're in, we're more than likely looking for a goon with loose lips. That will lead us to a potential mastermind that would be in a more advantageous position elsewhere.
You should be wary. There is no guarantee that the actual mastermind herself or himself is not here.
I would like to pursue a lead. It specifies that I need to define a question at the heart of the mystery. Could that question be who caused the delays?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to open an investigation about the mysterious delays using pursue a lead, if that is okay.
Okay. Let me... Wait, did I set up your secret chats? Fuck, I knew I forgot something. Give me a minute.
Hey, as far as things to forget, that's pretty minor.
Oh, also, make sure that your character's name is first in the server, and then in parentheses, whatever you want to be referred to as. Makes it easier for me to search things.
Oh, you mean the Discord server?
Yes, that would your server nickname.
Oh, okay. I got it. Good then.
He'll look it up and go over to the bartender to ask if she can connect her music player to whatever this place uses as a sound system to play some music. Mostly for the bar patrons.
So there are missing shipments, perhaps, of sorts, or are there potential missing things?
From what we've been able to tell, most of the efforts have been purely bureaucratic.
we're trying to figure out what's been going on. Describe the clientele around this tavern. Do any of these people kind of stand out as a potential goon? And I'm gonna do a little rolly roll right there.
There you go. That would be the hint that you get. All right, I'm trying to catch up on something. They would allow Tail to play music, especially if she wants to go up on stage. Flynn, what are you doing?
I want to look around the tavern. I want to see what kind of clientele I can talk to.
Tail is more than happy to
Kind
go
of
up
get
on
an
stage.
idea.
I'm guessing this area looks like the surface of the sun is the stage.
Yes. You see clients at each of 3 other tables. They seem either engrossed in conversation or talking to themselves.
Talking to themselves. That seems interesting. I want to look at the clients that are talking to themselves.
That would be over here. You can check the map for this, by the way.
Hey, I'll look it up on stage.
Where
Saji would
at?
go on
Am
stage
I
with
going
Tail.
over here?
Yeah.
Like over here is this one? Okay.
Okay, so we will have this be the first interaction. If other players want to join in, they'll be able to contribute certain roles depending to the interactions, but otherwise it'll just be Flynn.
Alright, just a quick note. Tail is actively playing the piano marks on her tail as her keyboard while singing.
So, like, for
As I'm
instance, if
walking up
Ashlyn wanted to
to
come over here and help with the investigating. You're not coming
If
over?
no one,
Yep, sorry. Sure, I suppose you could.
what as I'm approaching the table, what drink is at this table?
Root beer. It
Root beer,
smells
okay.
quite strongly of root beer. So you know that there's a nefarious criminal here.
So I'm gonna go to the bartender and get a root beer. I'll take a root beer for this person over here. I'm feeling
They nod,
jealous.
and the otter would deliver it to the table.
And I walk up to the table. Say, this town over here, it is quite interesting. I don't usually come here often. What has been going on around here lately? I'm just a man of gossip.
Ashlyn should announce how if their character is indeed participating, by the way.
Yeah, she is. Sorry, I had to refresh the page because it randomly wasn't letting me move the token.
Okay, if you're ever having those problems,
And
and
I'm
this
gonna
goes
use
for the
my
entire table, please make sure to tell me, and I will help you move your token and handle rolls for a few minutes while you sort shit out.
Okay.
I do have an inquiry. Where are the exits?
Top right.
Top right. All right. My character will be positioning himself between the exit and the rest of the people in case someone still looks like they're looking to make a hasty retreat. And if I am needed, wave me over.
So I want to use my streetwise general feat to use my society. Actually, do I want to use my society modifier? I don't. Never mind.
Roll
Let me not use
perception
that.
first.
It's lower. Ho.
Both of us?
Yes.
Okay.
Both of you would notice on closer
Nice.
examination that she is not actually talking to herself, but to something in her pocket.
That is interesting. I don't see many people talk to their pants quite often. Though some
you
people
don't
are a
know many
little
creative types,
little bit weird
then.
in private. Creative what now?
Then you don't know many creative types. All of the smartest people talk to their pockets. She stares
Usually
at
when
Flynn completely serious.
people talk to their pants. Yeah. Usually when people talk to their pants, I just assume they're a little bit out of wits. What you got going on down there?
And why should I be telling you?
You just seem interesting. I'm very much.
But it's more of a
I'm a
second
nosy
date
guy.
question.
Oh, you're right. I'm getting ahead of myself. My name is Flynn. And I extend my feathers, wing out.
I suppose a
Forgive
more
me for being so rude.
I suppose a more pressing question would be: is that a communication device, or do you happen to have a familiar?
What are you talking about? What is in the pants?
My name is
I just got
Levy, and
scolded.
it's neither of those.
Interesting.
Oh, now you're forward with your answers. At least forward with what it isn't.
Also, don't forget you can roll to be more diplomatic, and that will help.
And I will also roll this about the response. Anyways.
So then, what is it that is in your pockets then? Like I said, it is quite strange to be talking to your own pants in the middle of a crowded bar. Usually I see people taunting each other or perhaps having a boisterous conversation about their day. Or if they have like a little lowly office job.
I like to talk about
Go
my design
on.
work.
Design, you say?
It's important when you're doing design work that you make sure that you can explain all of the different work that you're doing to someone who's not you.
So you keep a recorder on hand as a form of audio journal.
You're not too far off the mark.
So you like to people watch, I think is the term.
No, I have a plushie.
You know, you should totally consider outfitting that plushie with the recording device then.
No, I trust them. They're a very good listener. They don't need me to repeat things back.
Oh, well, I'm sure. But can they repeat things back to you?
I trust them to listen.
Well, of course they'll listen. But what if you need to remember something later?
I have a really good memory.
Ah, I see.
It's like a one-way communication device.
And I will actually do one more one of those checks on here. Actually, I just remembered I have what was it? Aura sight, so I can roll occultism for this. There you go.
So what are you trying to read from this?
If about the memory thing that she's claiming.
She seems to be being honest. He would explain. I have a pretty effective memory when it comes to names, faces, things people say, myself included.
Oh.
People have tested me. I can remember every single creature that I've met in the past several years. So, for instance, if I met a particular fox in the wild, I can remember them on sight.
If you have such a good memory, what do you remember what it is like to not have breakfast?
Not have what?
How would you feel? Go back into your past. Do you remember the feeling of not eating breakfast
Oh my god.
in any
Yes.
particular morning? Describe the feeling.
Your stomach
Or do you just
hurts and
remember the
feels
scenario?
empty, like there's this black hole trying to suck things in.
Interesting.
Just gauge the character's
It's-
intellects. Good job.
So go back on subject. You know, that was a little aside, but you say you remember people. Let's just say I have a little friend that I want to know. It has something to do with a little statue in town or something, you know. And I'm going to. Where's the feed at, actually? I will find it in a moment. I just had it a second ago.
He'll start specifically playing one of the tracks that Silzaji is well known for, using her keyboard tail,
It
trying
is.
to bring up the mood in the building.
I'm going to use a discrete inquiry for this one. And I'm going to. And here's how I'm going to frame it, actually. So we have a person who. I want to know who made that statue in town. I have a little bit of a fascination for art. One of my friends, they do art, more abstract. I'm more of a performance artist, and I just like to learn about all the forms.
Roll
And I just
persuasion.
don't know where you could direct me. Why am I not able to find it? Performance, deception,
It's diplomacy, I think.
or
Oh, that one,
diplomacy.
yeah.
I want to do it with deception. I want to do it with deception, and that's why I have the.
How would you do the lie then?
Well, the discrete inquiry. The lie is me trying to figure out who made the statue. Just to
I
learn
see
more
what you
about
mean.
art.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So, deception.
And does Ashlyn do anything to try to contribute?
First I'm going to let them do their thing.
I don't know if my music's helping, but I did it. Play the song.
Okay. Well, you didn't get it from me, but I heard they contracted some, well, pretty out of this world artists in order to get the job done.
Oh, so they are exotic.
Definitely.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is another rude term, but interesting. So you sit there out of this world. Are we talking skill or they're not
I-
from here?
Probably otherworldly.
That's how the rumor goes.
Indeed. What of these people? I want to know all of their little customs. Perhaps I could travel there one day, you know? If I can ever find a way to get off this planet. Maybe take a vacation.
Afraid I couldn't say all that much about them. They like their privacy, apparently.
Oh, secretive.
And I'm gonna sense motive.
But I don't think I quite got your name. What is your name?
Levy.
Again, how rude of me. Levy. Oh, yes, yes. I am terrible with names and faces. My memory isn't that great. But perhaps, is there any possible way you could either direct us in the right direction to get a chance to meet at these people, or maybe just divulge whatever information you have?
That is definitely a persuasion check.
How outrageous is this request? Curious.
Why does that matter?
Because in this case, I would want to use shameless request, which would reduce the DC by 2, and I
I'll
could
allow it.
never get a critical failure. Okay.
I'll allow it.
A little diplomacy.
Sprout's ears perk up at the name Levy. Does Sprout recognize this person at all?
That would be perception.
I don't see shit.
Too bad Zephyr and Sunny can't make their own perception checks and then convey any
I was about to
information they
say,
find to you.
does Sunny recognize? Because I feel like Sunny
Well, those
definitely
would be some
would.
perception checks, now wouldn't they?
God damn it, Sunny. Come on, Zephyr.
Sunny is blind. Zephyr's less blind.
Zephyr is slightly less blind.
I'll give it to Zephyr. He would just say,
whatever.
look, I understand that you're like a bit on the odd side, but you have to understand that project just got held up a fuck ton by a bunch of political red tape, and whoever actually ended up doing that is probably out for blood. And even in the case that you, hypothetically, in the most charitable interpretation of your intentions, are not actually out to kill them, that doesn't mean that, well, someone who's out to kill them isn't going to stumble upon your research.
You see, I tend to keep myself well equipped to handle danger, and by that extent, I can occasionally keep other people out of danger. It is part of life in my field. Art is just a hobby.
Pretty sure they've got bodyguards.
And I'm pretty sure I've got the bodies.
Just so you know, Sprout could come over.
Second.
Hello, breathe.
Well, I mean, but Sprout just. I'm trying.
I do.
Sprout doesn't recognize this person, I'm assuming, but Zephyr
Well,
might.
Zephyr could tell you, yeah.
I
do appreciate
is
you
this
being
who I
informed.
think it is?
Correct.
Okay. Since Zephyr was the one to recognize, I'm gonna have Zephyr run over up to them.
It
and
seems
yipping
like the
happily.
little one recognizes you.
You just pick Zephyr up and scratch their head. Yeah, I make a lot of fox friends. I do a lot of my work out in the wild. Used to, anyway.
So you like animals.
Sprout
Awesome.
holds up Sunny. Would you perchance recognize this one?
I recognize both of them, Sprout.
It's been a long while, hasn't it?
Yeah, but lucky for you, I never forget a face.
Unfortunately, your face is new to me, although I do seem to be pairing up with this one, she says, gesturing to the druid, for this particular mission. So if I may ask, since you decided to tell us a fake name and you know a lot more about the artist than you're willing to let on, if you're familiar with our friend here, perhaps that might be some motivation to be a bit more forward.
I wouldn't say it's a fake name, just not the whole thing.
What do you mean?
Well, that's up for Levy to say, isn't it?
Perhaps.
He sighs. Fair enough. Well then. It was from a rival company of Lagras. I am one of her former employees, to say the least. She
Employee is a
made
little
certain
vague.
details about my past disappear in exchange for my cooperation.
Ah, well, in that case, if there's certain details about your past that need to stay secret, I am a place that those secrets can stay with, as I am a similar situation to you in that regard.
Look, I'm not super keen on sharing my entire life story, but I can tell you the one who was contracted to make the statue, she looks around and lowers her voice. It was one of the wardens.
Unfortunately, I've never gotten to really meet any of the wardens, at least for very long.
These wardens, you say? Who are they?
They're a very, very old race that does not leave much of a footprint out of necessity.
So they're like well, I guess they're wardens, but they kind of maintain the world. to some degree.
They maintain the balance of nature and make sure that it's respected. Unfortunately, a lot of that wasn't really valued by some of the Hoshizorans. So a lot of them were
Interesting.
dealt with in an incredibly brutal manner.
As in murdered. And dismembered and perhaps, just maybe sapped.
As in
What exactly
genocided.
are we talking?
They were wiped out almost entirely. There are only a few ones left alive today.
And so in the way they're endangered.
Extremely, yes. They're very pivotal to the world's function.
What would happen if they were to go extinct?
The Hoshizoran government believes that they will be capable of replacing them.
Of course, beliefs only go so far. What would happen in theory, not in theory, but in reality, should the Hoshizorans finish off the last warden?
There are two possibilities, and both of them are pretty bad. One of them is that we find out exactly what an incredibly cruel force nature often is. And in the one where we don't end up going extinct, she thinks for a moment. In the eventuality where we're not going extinct, the world around this city suffers. The great trees that we get our resources from will fall, and the water that is only now starting to be reclaimed shall likely fall to pollution.
So they seek to pollute the world. For what?
The Wardens don't have the best track record with the Hoshizorans. A big part of the founding of this country required them to die.
But what is the Hoshizorans' end goal?
A thriving city. This, the empire that you see around you, this is the goal. Mind you, this genocide happened a while ago. There are very few wardens left, and the ones who survived because initially they took the side of the Hoshizorans.
I look around the room that I'm in, the tavern, kind of observing the kind of progress. What have I seen in the city so far? Like before
It's a
making my way into
very
this tavern.
technologically advanced city. Though, to be clear, this tavern is very, very close, within minutes of the memorial site.
So we have abandoned nature and all of its colors and beauty and textures and such for lots of bright lights and tall buildings, plumbing.
There are a lot of reasons why I never really cared to live in the city. I never really knew about the sacrifices that went into this city, but at the same time, not exactly shocked.
I am much more accustomed with the sea myself. I don't like to keep in one place.
Well, the seas are in just as much danger.
It's worrying what everything is coming to.
Currently, the existing wardens have a contract with the Hoshi-Zoran government, but that's not to say that that contract is going to be honored forever.
And what of this city? What if, per se, we were to maybe do a little history lesson with one of these wardens?
What exactly are you
Where
asking?
would we? Maybe I just want to learn more about the wardens. At least the ones that exist, that are left. Even if they are compromised. It would be fun to learn about their race and what they did. And perhaps there are other goals.
Afraid there are few surviving records of them. What I know from living in the wild for a few years.
What are
Would my
these?
character know anything about wardens from living in the
Records.
wild?
That would be a nature roll, but the DC is high, just so you know.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. See what happens.
I actually met one of them.
Ooh. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
You what?
24.
What was it like to meet a
You
warden?
don't know.
Well, I felt completely and utterly insignificant. It's basically like meeting a force
And
of
yet
nature,
this
really.
society can... And yet this society has brought them to extinction almost. Surely they are not inconspicuous.
They
Which
deserve
brings me to my
reverence.
next question.
Sorry. Sprout finish, then continue, Flynn. Sprout?
What?
Finish what you were saying, then Flynn can go.
The wardens deserve reverence. They are the what's the word? Bastions
Keystone
of nature.
species.
The Keystone Speak.
Bastions of
Which
nature.
brings me to my...
If they disappear, everything's going to go to shit. I can't let that happen. It's my duty as a druid to preserve the world.
Which then brings me to my next question. You mentioned records, Devi. Where could we find these records? And perhaps do a little bit of our own little investigation work.
Afraid I couldn't tell you where the actual records are as far as the wardens go. You'd have to talk to one of them. You'd require an audience.
How do we get an audience?
One of them recognizes you and allows them into their domain.
It shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, they're on the force of nature. Yeah, Keystone Species, as one voice in my head told me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Scratch that. But you know that it shouldn't be too hard to request an audience with them.
I wouldn't say that the wardens would put you any closer to knowing that answer, though.
Then perhaps we'll have to convince them.
That's to say, although a warden
Nature.
was definitely responsible for building the statue, they wouldn't know about the ones responsible for delaying it.
Then perhaps this one could be an ally.
That's pretty ambitious of you, admittedly.
I shoot pretty high into the air.
Does
I like to go
Ashlyn have
big.
anything to say, by the way? She's been super quiet.
Yeah, well, I mean, um, she's a resident here. She already knows everything about the wardens, but she's been listening.
At some point, I'd
What's
like
her
to
opinion on the wardens?
go down here and talk to these guys whenever I get.
Very
Ashley, what
favorable.
you said you know a warden. You said you have met one, or someone did. Who has met a warden?
I met a warden.
I have not met a warden.
Sprat is a sprat.
Sorry, read the thing I typed to you before saying that? If you want to.
Do what?
Nothing, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry
Sprat,
about that,
since you are-
comrade.
My accent keeps fucking changing.
Look, I speak fluent
sprat.
Tommy. Anyway.
Good. I will start to introduce more characters into this. More political theories. We will do this all night.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so Sprout, you said you have met a warden before. So you probably are most accustomed to talk to them.
I suppose.
Let's face it, as much as I'd like to just flash my charms and wits at any sort of friendly or otherwise creature, I think they would rather go with familiarity over gestures to a tiny bird in a fucking pirate outfit. I'm not quite as
Yes,
content.
I actually am inclined to agree.
I'm what you would call a seedy individual.
If we were to encounter a warden, it would probably be best that I speak to them first.
Yes, of course. Where would we find the warden responsible for the statue?
Couldn't say.
don't know.
Unfortunately, I have never met that particular, anyone that would have that power.
And I don't think the warden that I met was of that sort either.
What about any confidants? Any lackeys or otherwise, perhaps someone farther up the chain?
Couldn't give you that.
Sure. Who are they?
Meanwhile, Tails in the background, on jamming out, completely oblivious to what everyone is doing.
And I didn't get to
Sorry,
fight
give me a
anything
second.
bad. There you go.
We're gonna take a. I need a minute.
Mm.
Okay, I'll be right back then.
This intermission is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Now made with pure cocaine.
Well,
I'm doing an advertisement in character. So that way Coca-Cola is forced to be in canon in the universe. I fucking can't.
I don't know. We have root beer? Does
Oh,
no,
Coke
no.
exist?
Coca-Cola.
I linked what
I'm doing here.
Hale is playing. Hang in chat. Or general.
No, Tail is playing
Hey!
all of the customers. That's what she's playing.
Do you know a little song by Deline Sion? It is a very well-known song in the story of the ship that got hit by an iceberg. In particular, was in the play directed by James Cameron.
Why do you want me to play depressing music?
Because it is a seafaring song, and it is very popular. And people like to sing it.
Dubstep mashup. What would you do with a drunken sailor?
Brain just did so many errors from everything you just said. Why would you do this?
Okay, I'm back.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
It's kind of funny.
I've introduced the Titanic movie into the canon of the universe.
Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Why did I let you do this?
This is the first pop culture seafaring reference that I will directly make, and I will make at least one every session.
Why would you do this?
And tell it balloons.
This is like making Shrek canon in this setting. Why would you do it?
Wait, what?
It
I don't know,
adds
is
to the
Shrek
world
canon in
building,
this?
okay?
All right,
it adds to the world building of the world.
We're gonna start again, but Ashlyn has not said much during this conversation. What would she like to say?
Okay. Ashton would be like, now then I will admit, with all of the things that I've learned about the Wardens, I never learned about the genocide, so that does seem to be a very closely guarded secret that isn't allowed even into the classrooms of any sort. But all that said, the Wardens who is commissioned to build the statue or create the statue is certainly not going to be the one that's in charge of delaying things. So, the question is, what do you happen to know about the bureaucracies and all of that stuff that's getting involved in this?
Can't say I actually know all that much. This place is deeply, deeply foreign to me. One thing I could offer, though, While I was working for Flogger, we actually had a lot of really similar issues to this. Well, recorded similar issues, I should say. It seems like people who have a high enough station are capable of causing all sorts of messes to gum up the works.
Gotcha. So I guess the question is, who do you think has a high enough station? Like, do you happen to know anyone offhand that might be related to all of this?
Offhand, no. But I could give you some.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I keep having a hot mic for some reason. Sorry, can you ask again?
She was asking about what kinds of people would be high or have that type of position that could potentially be related.
Well, if you're looking though about that kind of thing, you're probably going to want to know about the, well, shall we say the higher echelons. There's this really interesting, how to describe it? Well, event that's held for the political elite. Flagra used to go there, and I would have to be her attendant quite often. If you really want to know who the upper crust of society are, who are basically going to have the kind of power that you're talking about, someone who had an invitation there would definitely be high on the list.
Gotcha. But getting that invitation list, well, I suppose since we've been requested to, I suppose we could get access to that and start narrowing things down from there.
Getting access to the invitation list isn't even hard. If you've been here for any length of time, most people pick up on, well, the who's who, if you will.
Gotcha. I mean, I guess I can talk to Adara and see what she can get.
So, since you're on this mission, what leads do you actually have?
Not a whole lot yet. Unfortunately, just that people were interfering with the with the whole process of having the ceremony and statue.
I see. You have no other hints available?
Out of character, I don't remember if there was anything else other than what they've gotten from Levy.
Well, Adara said they're definitely here.
I did get a hint. I just didn't know when to like butt in on a conversation.
Okay. She would say, "Well, apparently the person we're looking for might be in this very room."
And I guess what you're looking for is someone who's high society.
Resist the urge to do something stupid.
And is there any particular outfits I should be looking for? Is there a better way to know who's high society in here?
Can't say. I'm not really well connected. Politics was never a deep-seated interest of mine. I make machines.
Gotcha. Well, I suppose we might just have to ask around for a few other people.
Well, I wish you luck, because I unfortunately don't know how else to help. I will say, though, it is entirely possible that people just have a motive against the wardens and the people who advocated for them. Flagra had a lot of enemies like that.
I'll try to keep that in mind.
There are a number of different cults in the city that believe in the, well, supreme right and status of Hoshizorans. That it's their birthright to conquer nature.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we'll have to see.
It's a very strange cult. I wouldn't recommend joining.
Wasn't planning on it.
If they attempt to inflict themselves upon nature, they shall soon find their mistake.
He taps Sprout on the back. I'm glad we have people like you then.
I feel like a earlier version of me would have thought themselves incapable, but it doesn't really matter what I think of myself. I have to be capable. This is a serious threat.
Proud of you then. You've grown up a lot.
Thanks, even if I don't quite feel like it sometimes.
So then, any other questions you scallywags are going to ask? It's in my DM's contract that I reserve the right to call all of my players scallywags, regardless of law-abiding status. If you didn't know that, you didn't read the fine print.
There was fine print.
There was fine print.
I don't know how to read. I just guess.
I don't know how to read.
You have
Lynn
no
also does
idea
not
the
know how to
sheer
read.
power, the sheer power
It wasn't in dark
of
mode.
fine print.
Couldn't read it.
Well, yeah, that's why it's
Oh my
fine print.
God.
Lynn only knows how to read. I don't know why he's talking in the third person, but here we go. He can only read riddles and treasure
Mhm.
maps,
Khajiit moment.
pretty much.
This one reads whatever the fuck they want to. What are you going to do about it? Anyway,
Apparently.
well, I think that I'm going to be seeing my way out. Well, there's a reason I was here to drink the night away.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you for your help.
As she's leaving, John is going to look to the group to see if they want me to stop her.
Kayla's busy rocking out on stage. She doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Ashton would just say, by the way, it sounds like your plushie's talking.
What do you mean my plushie's talking? Is that a euphemism?
Oh no, I hear things coming from your bag.
He checks her bag. Nope. Quiet.
Should I roll another or sense motive?
You can. Okay. You suspect she's telling the truth.
Interesting. So then what's making the noise in there? Because I'm definitely sure I heard something.
Mostly just the laptop and the plushie.
So is your laptop making noise?
No, I turned it off.
Gotcha. Well, anyways, I guess have a good night.
Hmm?
What?
She said that in character.
Okay, sorry.
He just gets up and starts leaving.
I was quite confused.
Yeah, Jean looks at the group and is waiting to see if they want me to stop her.
Sprout just stares back, I guess.
Flynn shrugs.
Nothing from me.
Going to
I
interpret
got
indecisiveness as no.
I think we got exactly what we wanted. He was nothing but forthcoming.
Hale has noticed that everyone was gathered around a single different table, and watches as someone else leaves, just kind of shrugging while she's playing music.
Could I make a perception check on the figures remaining on the last two tables and see if any of them strike me as high society?
And Flynn's gonna want to join in on the performance with his patent pending 5-ball performance.
It's not the 5-ball performance.
Yeah, the 5-ball juggling.
It was 14 last I counted. Maybe I'm getting old. Would I be allowed to make a perception check?
Yeah. What are you making it for again?
I'd like to figure out if any of the people down here in the last two tables strike me as high society.
Okay.
Would I
Make
get
the
my
rolls for each one. I will do them all clockwise.
Okay. Would I get my pursue a lead bonus on this? Is this part of the investigation?
Yeah.
Here's the first one. 36.
Make all of them.
Oh, I see. Sorry about that. There we go.
All right. There is the information. It is all in your secret chat.
I'm gonna gesture to this table over here. These people seem fairly important to me. Maybe we should start there.
Um,
From a distance, while Flynn is performing, are there any weapons on these individuals that the party's going to?
Um, that would be its own perception check. Which one are you checking for?
Which one are they going to first?
Do we have a particular preference? I'm down to do either.
I'll just go. Yeah, just I'll do whatever the go clockwise with this. I guess I don't know. Just staring at people. Just being nosy as fuck. That's what I am.
All right. Which group are we checking?
How do I ping it?
Let's hold left click, I think.
The ones to the left or the ones to the right? Okay. You notice that the one to the north seems to have a pistol concealed on her person. You can't note. You don't see what the person across from her might be carrying.
Noted.
Do we have any particular approach we'd like to take? I could pose as a traveling business person.
I could be a traveling ball salesman.
Very convincing, I think.
Well, the other option could just be me being a clown, I guess.
I didn't say that myself.
No, but the person that scoffed at the idea of you being a ball salesman.
I don't know. I think that you'd make a very convincing clown. I already believe you.
Fair enough.
Does anyone mind if I approach them?
You are free to approach whoever you want. Oh, right. Party members should, yeah. Having a moment.
Jean will watch to see if the hands go to the weapons.
I'll take a leisurely stroll over to the table, pull myself up a seat. Evening. Pardon the intrusion, but I am a traveling business person looking to meet new acquaintances. Would you need me to make a deception check for them?
Yes.
Also, while this is happening, I am juggling the balls. So I'm gonna do a performance check. Just to maintain the ball performance. So I look inconspicuous. Or like a joke, which either way works.
Feel free to sit with us, stranger. Intrigued at what kind of business you're doing.
Perfect. They don't suspect a thing.
Well, you can consider me a purveyor of the fine arts, you see. Buying, selling, trading, all in my wheelhouse. But who exactly am I talking to? My name is Albion, by the way.
Hell, just playing circus music.
Meanwhile,
Somehow-
Flynn is very, very well acquainted with the 5-ball performance.
The North one introduces themselves first. You can refer to me as Arcana. This is my partner, Stia.
I see. And what sort of business do you individuals partake in?
Information brokers.
Ah, very lucrative business indeed. And how does one become privy to such information?
Well, typically, you make an offer. Either you have some really juicy bits of information that I don't know, and in which case, I might, of course, be willing to trade you information that I have for it. Otherwise, you pay in cash.
Let's see. Would you be willing to provide me a quote?
Depends on what you're looking for.
I'm a little interested in the proceedings of our late hero and the interruption thereof.
Oh, so you've been hired by the royals. Interesting.
It's quite the hefty assumption.
Oh, come now. The Queen took a very deep interest in getting this done. It didn't get done for the longest amount of time. Someone's going to be pissed. She needs to see where the leaks in her security were that allowed for this mess to happen. and she needs to hire people on the outside to do it.
Can I sense motive?
Sure.
Let's make a perception check. Do I get my pursue lead bonus to this?
Yeah. Okay. It's hard to tell whether she's being straight with you, only that she seems to know a bit more than she's letting on.
From what you're telling me, it seems you have quite the force in this game, but let's not jump to assumptions. My field of interest is a little more narrow than you have prescribed to me.
Oh, what's your field of interest?
Word on the wind is a particular person was commissioned for some sort of statue. That's where my interest lies. Do I need to roll deception for that?
Yes.
Oh boy.
I see. So you're interested in looking for the sculptor themselves.
I have to imagine there's very lucrative business involved, is there not?
No. Sculptor only works for very, very specific causes, and they don't take a dime.
You seem to know a lot about this sculptor. How much is that information worth?
Well, if you're looking to track them down, I'd say that's going to cost you at least 10,000, given the profile of the person involved.
Ugh. Guys, any suggestions on where I should take this conversation?
I think Flynn has an idea. What if I were to modify my routine to land on top of that table with the 5 balls that I'm juggling as like a finisher?
You can try to impress them. I don't know if that'll work.
Sure. I would love to attempt to impress them.
If you want above game suggestions, I got a couple.
I'm definitely open.
Inquire about so there are two things that we need to consider. One, motive. Two, opportunity. As far as opportunity goes, which you might be able to get from these people, is the supply line for the materials, the laborers to make the statue, and the artist. Those are the various opportunities to have delays. So maybe you can, because they're merchants, inquire about supply lines.
Okay, but how do we feel about the likelihood of these guys being the ones that we're looking for? Because I'm a little, like, I obviously almost got us into some hot water here. I don't really want to reveal our intentions too hard or play our cards the wrong way.
I'll take the momentary break from playing music to kind of meander off the stage.
Look, you're investigators. There's no reason whatsoever that you'd be hanging out with so many Flogger's former associates, unless you have some personal connection to all of this. Or unless you're hired. It's very valuable information that you're looking for, even that aside.
Why aren't
10,000
you
is
so
a generous.
perceptive?
Why do you think I'm
Why you
perceptive?
guys are so. Oh no! It's just that you've got quite the keen eye. You seem to have gotten all of us quite, figured out.
He'll walk straight on past the conversation.
I'm
And
an information
what if
broker. What do you expect? My whole business is getting as much information as possible in as
And I'm
short
just
a time
saying-
span.
And I'm just saying that your work is quite impressive. It seems you've gotten so much out of us already without even, with so much as breaking a sweat. I mean, must be really easy to do that in general with you guys. Must be quite skilled.
Roll diplomacy
Perhaps.
or deception.
What if I'm using cutting flattery?
Glaze. Supreme glaze.
So,
Fine, I'll
Who's
let
the
you roll
party?
deception. Go for it. Over here.
who's the party?
It's coercion.
Also,
Specifically, so it'd be
Flynn, you should
intimidation.
be over here if you're talking to them.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I was doing a little performance in there. I was supposed to be landing on their table. Why can't I move?
There you go.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, no, I want to use intimidation by cutting flattery.
Go for it.
So, anyways, this information you've got. Ooh.
Well, butter me up and pan fry me. You trying to get a discount?
Perhaps. No, I'm enamored by intelligence. Discounts only get you so far, but the greater adventure is with the person themselves. Now that one's going to be more of a diplomacy check right there, just to butter them up just a little bit more.
Tails in the background making a gagging expression. She was actually gonna go over to the rainbow-haired lady and ask her how they.
It was so close staying at 18.
You do not make it.
Oh, sweet.
Sorry, you can continue now.
All I was gonna say is she goes over to the rainbow-haired lady and asks how they got if their hair is that color naturally, or if they had some kind of special dye to do that, because it looks really awesome.
Little column A, little column A, little column B.
Man, I need to find whatever you're using on your hair. I bet I would stand out really a whole lot more for my performances if I had an awesome mane like that. One has to wonder if Tails even been paying attention to the entire investigation tonight. Or if she really just wanted to be here to put on a performance.
I would like if you could get through the conversation with the information brokers first, though. And then we'll do these in order.
My bad.
So perhaps, we could talk about the people who make the statues and the supply lines and all that. That can come a little bit later. But you've been wanting a little bit more spice in your private life. It seems, it's information broking. It is very, very difficult work.
I assure
Stressful.
you, my private life is exactly as spicy as I like it. and would burn the mouths of ordinary folk.
Well, I'm no ordinary person. I can handle a little bite. I'm
That
assuming this is
said-
another diplomacy check. this is verging on some interesting
great, buddy.
territory.
She would just say, "Sorry, sweetie, I don't swing that way."
Oh, forgive me. I'm I the fact that I approach this. Forgive me. It is. I go pecker first. Sometimes a little bit blindly, but truthfully, you are very interesting, regardless.
Tell me the truth. Did you see through everything the second I walked over here?
I'm aware that you're, well, working for the Queen.
From the moment we entered this place?
Eh, it took me a little bit longer, but not much.
Was it the fact that we all crowded around a table for a little while?
It's the fact that you're working with Adara, who has often done a lot of, well, jobs for the Queen, especially in, well, later months.
So you're saying there are confidants in the later half of the Queen's life, or later bits, rather.
Adara's work for hire, and she tends to cater to high-profile clientele.
What are her services? A full catalog, perhaps.
Look, you want information on something? You want secrets? You want to know how to get into the corporate world? You want to know how to infiltrate a company? You want to know how to take it over? Every single thing that you might want to know has a price.
Name your price.
Name your question.
Let's think about this a bit. What do we want to ask?
Who delayed the construction of the statue?
I think
6,000.
I think that's probably.
Oh. Is there perchance
Is
any way we could lower the cost through a favor of some sort? Start sweating.
it's a little bit more than drinking money. That is.
Let me be quite frank with you. This is information that's desired by the Queen herself and by a legendary mercenary. The fact that you're going to make it in good with those people because you ended up doing a job successfully and helping them in their endeavors is going to be really, really good for your own reputation. It's worth the money.
I don't even know how much gold the party even has.
That
I
would
gave
be
my
an Ashlyn
character.
question.
Every player was given 10,000 gold at the start.
Makes sense.
Look, my services and my time are valuable. You're a bunch of cheapskates. I'm walking.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
If Jean sees
Wait.
people trying to stop this guy, Jean will step forward.
I can make it worth your while. In my line of work, I make a little bit of coin.
9,000, and I won't tell anyone you asked either.
Deal. And I hand over 9,000 gold.
He takes it and slips it into her bag. Alright, I don't give perfect guarantees on the accuracy of this information, but I have a 95% success rate in these matters. It's a reason I charge a pretty penny. So, the person you're looking for is supposedly her daughter. Made this whole rival firm to completely nose in from her own business, and those people got involved in some crazy shit. I've heard a lot about strange
And she's
arcane and
the
occult.
daughter of the queen? Or-
No, the daughter of Fogra. That girl has her hands in a lot of interesting cookie jars all over the kingdom. She decided to call on a bunch of deaths. That's how word on the street has it, anyway. And, well, it seems that all of the different metrics, the planning committees, the ones trying to get the resources, even the people trying to contact the artisan, it was just one delay after another. And then suddenly all of them stopped. Just managed to get it right on through.
Any complications with regards to the daughter shipments? Has hers been able to, make it from point A to point B a little bit more smoothly? And would you know
Wow.
the mechanism?
Afraid I can't say. Royals kept the whole process of getting resources from point A to point B a real hush hush. All I know is that there were a lot of complaints from, well, some people tangentially associated, saying that they were lacking necessary materials for a job they were doing.
And I'm assuming there is some type of depot
But
that we could visit.
possibly. Don't know which one, and don't know that you'd find anything useful there.
Not even for a price?
That's to say, the Royals have a very interesting way of making sure that, well, though things may be shipped to one place, they don't end up at that place. There are at least 6 different locations that they manage resources through, and they rotate. So, what's it in one at the end of the day might be in another at the end of the next day.
So a little network, perhaps.
There are a lot of networks that the Queen relies on.
Are
That
there
said, we're
any,
giving you a lot of free information. I'm going to start expecting some money soon.
we could put a cap on that for now. If you ever want to hang around, not in a platonic manner. I could show you around for a fun time. Again,
No,
platonic.
thanks. I've seen all the sights to see in this city.
I'm not talking the city. I'm more of a sea guy.
Then I might contact you sometime. Or you really need information. He passes you what appears to be a blank card.
I appreciate this.
Can we recap what we just learned just so I can write it down?
Or that Keta would love to repeat all of that.
That's a lot of information to repeat.
Just
I
like
will get
bullet
it from the
points.
stream later.
Okay.
We should have like a party lore book.
I
Or we
would
just all
repeat
write
it, but
down our
we're at
notes.
10:10 and I need to end stream soon.
No worries. I can take a look as well.
Yeah, it will be in the last 10, 15, 20 minutes of stream. I recommend watching over it.
Perfect. You can review my character's ever-changing accent throughout the entire stream, especially if you subscribe on the Twitch specifically.
All right, we're gonna be raiding into a wonderful artist who is doing very, very cursed content at present, named Slushy Otter. So, show them love. See you later. Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.
Bye.
So somehow I went from